What's up? Once again, you are tuned into The Funny Truth, where the truth has never been this funny. I'm your host, the one and only DJ PJ, and how are you doing today? I hope you are great and healthy, as we all have to look up for one another in times like these. So today, as usual, we always got a pumped up topic. We will be talking about fame versus clout. You heard right, fame versus clout. Now, to many who don't know, they might not see any difference between the two, but this is why I'm here, to bring you to light on certain things we may not know. But as you do know, before we start talking about fame versus clout, we gotta go listen to some hot music, because Christ music is hot music. Let's hear it.
Your number one hit station in town.
Active
For the love of music.
I remember this.
never been better.
There is power in the name of Jesus. There is power in the name of Jesus to break every chain, break every chain, break every chain. There's an army rising up. There's an army rising up to break every chain, break every chain, break every chain, to break every chain, break every chain, break every
Welcome back from that hot jam, because Quads music is hot music and radio has never been better. Right here on the funny truth. How was that jam? Yep, it was fire. I know. So guys, today we are talking about fame versus clout. Fame versus clout. So simply, before I actually tell you what fame is or what clout is, I'm first gonna just crack up some things, But I will educate you in a way with my quotes or jokes, you know what I'm saying? So let's go. The world of celebrity is a very strange place. I spent countless hours watching my favorite stars on the big screen and looking at their candid paparazzi photos. But until I win my first Grammy, I will never exactly know how it is to be famous. Being known and recognized around the world is a daunting and unnatural experience, and some celebrities have shared hilarious quotes on being famous that proves how strange it all really is. Andy Warhol once famously said, "In the future, everyone will be world famous for 15 minutes." And while that's somewhat true, now with the advent of social media, being an actual celebrity remains a far-fetched idea for the normals. My closest brush with fame was when Brangelina was at my hotel lobby in NYC and I had to push through the throngs of paparazzi outside with my dark sunglasses on. It felt good, but well, it only lasted a few seconds, and I realized that this is how many people must live their entire lives. While plenty of people have spoken of the horrors of being a celebrity, some celebs have used humor to describe how it feels to be famous, because making fun of it seems like the only way to stay grounded. Number 1. The cool thing about being famous is traveling. I always wanted to travel across seas, like to Canada and stuff. That joke was said by Britney Spears. Oh, Britney. This is one of my favorite quotes of all time. I guess all the traveling from being so famous just confused her a lot, because she said she wants to travel overseas, like to Canada and stuff. She's in America. To go to Canada, you don't actually have to cross the sea, Britney. But it's cool. Number 2, I love being famous. It's almost like being white. That was said by Chris Rock. Chris Rock means to push some buttons, and he certainly makes a point. There are many downsides to being rich, other than paying taxes and having relatives asking for money, but being famous, that's a 24-hour job right there. Said by Bill Murray. Bill Murray is always keeping it real, and I always appreciate him for that. If you don't know who Bill Murray is, man, he's in a lot of movies that you've watched. I always thought if you had any real proximity to famous people, that your obsession with them would warn. Like, I thought if I'm able to go to the Golden Globes, then I won't want to Google Matthew McConaughey's early relationships for hours before I go to bed. But it has just gotten worse. Lena Dunham. When asked about how her life is different now that she's a red carpet regular, Dunham told Vogue that not much has changed. I would act the same way. 5. You know you're famous when there's rumors of you being gay. Little spoke to Details magazine of all the strange rumors that happen when you're in the public eye, and the gay rumor has happened to probably every actor at some point in their careers. Number 6. I would have changed my last name if being famous were my goal. This was said by Zach Galifianakis. Zach Galifianakis proved how uncomfortable he was with being famous in a profile for Neo magazine. So this guy plays in Hangover and a lot of movies that we've watched too across my life. 7. Being famous gets me good concert tickets, good tables in restaurants, good seats at sporting events, and that's really about it. Said by Fran Dresser. Hey, well, all those things don't sound so bad to me. Number 8. If you have to explain to someone you're famous, then you're technically not that famous. Said by David Spade. In reaction to Reese Witherspoon's infamous disorderly conduct arrest, TMZ caught up with David Spade, who had this sage advice. 9. A celebrity is a well-known TV or movie star who looks like he spends more than 2 hours working on his hair. Steve Martin. Celebrities and their hairstylists are always hair gold, so keep it up, kids. Number 10. Does everyone get a tape of this? I hope you do, so you can see me when I'm famous and remember me as this beautiful little girl, Kim Kardashian. Way back in 1994, Kim Kardashian knew she was going to be famous, and this certainly did come true. She also said she was the dopest of the ropest of her 8th grade class. The 90s were a good time. 11. You're not famous until my mother has heard of you. Jay Leno. This might be one of the truest and funniest things Jay Leno has ever said, in my opinion. Being famous may not always be great or always absolutely terrible, but it is almost always interesting, to say the least. Heavy metal icon Rob Halford abandoned fame to live as a monk in a Tibetan monastery. Buddhist priest. A dad is lost in the Dad Joke Hall of Fame. He's looking around when he comes upon a hallway full of people. At the other end of the hallway, he sees a boxer just knocking people out one at a time. So he quickly pushes past all of the people and asks the boxer, "Excuse me, sir, is this the punchline?" A swastika has been spray painted over Donald Trump's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Police say it's impossible to tell if the act was committed by Trump's opponents or supporters. Woo. Today I learned the fame of Albert Einstein pales in the comparison to his brother, whose work in cellular regeneration has been the subject of many books and several movies. His name was Frank. There was once a man by the name of Austin Richard Post. He thoroughly enjoyed writing music, but he could never quite find people who would want to make music with him. This often left him secluded in his life. Disappointed by his lack of fame and a band, he talked to a local bartender surrounded by drinks about his situation. "I don't understand," Austin said. "Why don't people want to post songs to the internet with me?" The bartender sat there pondering. After a minute, he came with a conclusion. "Why don't you just Post Malone?" You get it? Post Malone. So Austin Richard is actually Post Malone. Yeah, so they just cracked him up. Anyway, John Bon Jovi was inducted into the Rock Hall of Fame. I asked him, "Aren't you disappointed and ashamed you aren't in the more prestigious Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?" He said, "Whoa, we're halfway there." Once there was a girl named Darling. Had a particularly rough childhood because of her uncommon name. She always got a lot of teasing and abuse at school, and hated her parents for the pain they inflicted on her. By the time she graduated school, however, she overcame her anger and embraced her unusual name, finding it brought her some fame as a competitive soccer player. Darling met and married a handsome veterinarian named Chorus, who worked at an African wildlife reserve, and in time they had a baby boy. Despite the hardships she endured, she demanded that the child also have a unique name, but she didn't want the boy to know it was her idea. She told her father that the boy's name would be Love and that he had to pretend it was his idea. He reluctantly agreed. Darling's soccer career flourished and Chorus became head of Petcherdam Health at the Wildlife Reserve. As Love grew, he enjoyed the same ridicule and taunting that his mother did. Love's father continued to cover for his wife's decision and argued that in time he would learn to appreciate his unique name. One day, Chorus was at work preparing a tranquilizer gun to work on an elephant when Love burst into his office. Love raged at the misery his name has caused him, but Chorus kept the pretense that the name was his own idea. Love grabbed the tranquilizer gun and shot his father with one of the potent darts before fleeing. Chorus struggled for life, aware that the elephant tranquilizer would kill him in a few short minutes. Darling, returning from soccer practice, found her husband struggling on the floor in his last moments of consciousness. Rushing to him, she held him in her arms and asked what happened. With his last breath, Chorus, "Shot with a dart and you're to blame, darling. You gave Love a bad name. I played my part while you played your game." You gave love a bad name. That's a tense joke, for real. Like, I was like, wait, is that a joke? Like, that was like tense joke, for real. Anyway, now I want us to do some talking about fame versus clout. And guys, first of all, fame and clout are not the same things, in case you are wondering. So what does clout mean? Clout is to have influence or power in popular culture. People with clout are seen as popular and cool. Where does clout come from? Clout long predates Instagram. The slang appears early as the 1860s for political influence, apparently based on a centuries-old sense of clout, meaning punch or force. A person with clout can get things done on Capitol Hill or Wall Street. Clout got new life in the 2000s with the rise of social media launching in 2008. An app called Clout calculated a person's social media influence with a so-called clout score. Have a lot of followers and get a lot of likes. You've got clout. People are paying attention to you. Clout spread in the 2010s as more general slang term denoting popularity and coolness, not unlike having swag or cred or being an influencer. Wearing a Supreme tee, some fresh kicks, a pair of white round sunglasses. You're hip, you're on point, you've got clout. Speaking of white round sunglasses, rapper Denzel Curry memorably called them his clout goggles. As we noted in our entry for the term, the glasses iconically worn by rocker Kurt Cobain in the 1990s demand a confident but countercultural wearer. Hip-hop artists in the early 2010s like Lil Yachty, Wiz Khalifa, and the aforementioned Denzel Curry, all of whom have clout, we could say, helped repopularize them. Examples of clout: we make good tweets or good content or good anything. When you can tweet something that trends 24/7 and you get a whole lot of clout. Trust me, the thing you have to tweet doesn't have to be smart. I've seen a lot of things get famous and they made no sense. Anyway, who uses clout? While the political sway of most rappers is debatable, there's no doubt they influence social media and popular culture. Clout lives in those interconnected realms where wearing those farm clout goggles can get you a lot of likes on Instagram. Rappers have so much clout, we could say that they helped make a clout trendy slang term. Unfortunately, I've seen someone who tweeted the same thing and they got more clout. Clout can be used ironically though, as internet clout can't always be cashed in on IRL. Clout chasers, or those that do things just to project a hip-hop persona on social media, are greatly disliked, deemed superficial and fake. He is clout chasing. His music hasn't sold in years. He's desperate to pop again. He can say what he wants, but what he's doing is the true definition of clout chasing. And if you do have clout, don't go proclaiming it, or you might not find yourself without it. Unless you're Denzel Curry, he can boast about his clout all he wants. Clout is a dangerous drug. Kids grow up addicted to it before they get to develop morals and principles these days. Social media, wicked. Clout, as a more general term for a person's influence and power, especially in domains like politics and business, still remains in wide use. We like to think, for example, we have a lot of word clout over in the dictionary. So firstly, you gotta understand that none of the things I just explained about clout makes clout and fame the same thing, you see, because it's actually clout versus fame out here. And to be honest, if I was left up to make a choice, I would choose fame over clout, because clout dies eventually. Clout does die. Clout can destroy you. Clout, because people are always clout fishing. you're out here hunting. I don't know, social media has become Hunger Games or something. Whatever. What does fame mean? Widespread reputation, especially of a favorable character, renowned public eminence. To seek fame as an opera singer, common estimation or opinion generally held of a person or thing. Reputation. What does fame do to a person? Once fame hits, with its growing sense of isolation, mistrust, and lack of personal privacy, the person develops a kind of character splitting between the celebrity self and the authentic self. As a survival technique in the hyperkinetic and heady atmosphere associated with celebrity life. This is where fame and clout have something in common. Fame is a dangerous drug, a phenomenological glimpse of celebrity. Fame is a dangerous drug, I should know. I wrote the book on it, says Donna Wakefield, or Water the Book chapter. That chapter, waiting for the close-up, celebrity experience and the phenomenology of fame, describes the dead-end cycle of fame's merry-go-around through the first-hand reports of celebrity experience in the book, film and television stardom, as was evidenced in the recent death of 48-year-old Whitney Houston. Fame and celebrity was closely mirrored substance abuse symptomology, and over time result in actual substance abuse, isolation, mistrust, dysfunctional adaptation to fame, and then too often untimely death. The examples are familiar, from Judy Garland to River Phoenix and Michael Jackson to Whitney Houston. The research conducted shows that fame changes a person's life forever and is felt more as an impact or overnight experience rather than a gradual transition. Developmentally, the celebrity often goes through a process of it first loving, then hating fame, addiction, acceptance, and then adaptation, both positive and negative, to the fame experience. Becoming a celebrity alters the person's being in the world. Once fame hits, with its growing sense of isolation, mistrust, and lack of personal privacy, the person develops a kind of character splitting between the celebrity self and the authentic self as a survival technique in the hyperkinetic and heady atmosphere associated with celebrity life. Some descriptions of fame include feeling like an animal in a cage, a toy in a shop window, a Barbie doll, a public facade, a clay figure, or that guy on TV. Famous people describe a new relationship with the space around them as a component of learning how to live in a celebrity world. It's like fame defines you to a certain degree. It puffs you up and it shrinks you down, one celebrity said. Being famous is variously described as leaving the person feeling lonely, not secure. You have a bubble over you. Family space is violated, a sense of being watched, living in a fishbowl like a locked room, and familiarity that breeds inappropriate closeness. Yet, while a celebrity experiences many negative side effects of fame, the allure of wealth, access, preferential treatment, public adoration, and as one celebrity put it, membership in an exclusive club, keeps the famous person stuck in the perpetual need to keep their fame machine churning. The unfortunate truth, however, is that for each and every celebrity, the fame machine can only churn for so long. As a former famous child star revealed, I've been addicted to almost every substance known to man at one point or another, and the most addicting of them all is fame. The irony, of course, is the extent of which so many people in our culture clamor at some level for their slice of fame. First noted in Andy Warhol's prediction of 15 minutes for everyone, it has become the American way. In fact, iconic filmmaker John Waters believes that being famous is everyone's unspoken desire. Most everybody secretly imagines themselves in show business, he says, and every day on their way to work, they are a little depressed because they are not. People are sad they are not famous in America. And so we watch Snooki and the Kardashians and cringe at the memory of any episode we may have caught of being Bobby Brown or the Anna Nicole Smith show, and quietly ask ourselves, what is going on here? Are we somehow complicit in the downward spiral of so many great talents of our time? Have their lives become an opportunity for our own vapor TV viewing, saturating voyeuristic interest while munching junk food mindlessly on the couch? I am as guilty as anyone. And from the other vantage point, how dangerous are the blinding lights of fame to the unsuspecting and naive star? How vulnerable are famous people to fame's addictive qualities and the ensuing engulfing pathology? The answer is very. The relevant question becomes, how can a celebrity survive fame? How can someone take a God-given talent like Whitney's or Michael's or Judy's rise to mega stardom and ride the merry-go-round of fame with health, grace, and perspective until it is time to finally get off? Clues to the answer lie in the becoming part of something larger than oneself, countering fame's natural tendency toward narcissism, and dedicating all one's drive and ambition into making a real difference in a meaningful way in the world through such determined commitment to using life to its fullest as a show of gratitude for all the riches and rewards, and rooted in humanistic notions of self-responsibility and meaning, values, authenticity, and mindfulness. The celebrity has a fighting chance. Example: see actor Matt Damon and his H2O Africa Foundation, or rockstar Bono and his many good works to end poverty and hunger, or actor and child advocate Goldie Hawn and the Hawn Foundation supporting mindfulness in early education, among others. As an older rising celebrity warned about the ephemeral nature of the fame experience, it is just so much the well older West, he said, and you can't build a house on that kind of stuff. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed that segment. That is a really knowledgeable piece on fame and clout. I'm sure by now you should know the difference between the two, and I will tell you, if you seeking either one, let it at least be for a greater purpose. Let it at least make a change in the world. Why keep searching clout when you keep destroying society? So you want to gain more people by destroying society, or even in fame. You see, as you heard, fame can swallow you as a person if you are not aware of what you're doing and keeping on the right path. But I'll be ending off right after this.
So hey guys, this is Sean from Hillsong, Pretoria. You're listening to Active FM, and the Christ music is hot music. See you later, man.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, are you
You can stream Reactive's very own The Movement album on Spotify and Apple iTunes. Reactive is a movement.
We are back once again, and unfortunately we have reached that part of the show where we gotta say our goodbyes until next time. Yeah, we gotta say our goodbyes, guys. It was awesome having y'all. This topic got me thinking. Like right now, I'm like, what? Fame. Yeah. How many good people have we lost due to fame? Sometimes we just think they took this part of their own world, but fame pushes you to a certain extent if you're not doing it the right way. So people, in case you want to ask us questions about fame or clout, you can go onto our Instagram at ActiveFM777, the number of heaven, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, /ActiveFM777. That's on Facebook, at ActiveFM on Twitter. We are on YouTube. We are on Spotify. We are on Google Podcast and Apple Podcast. You can also catch us on our very own website, www.activefm.co.za. I'm looking forward to hearing from y'all. Now for me, DJ PJ, and the crew right here at Active FM, to all the clout fishing people, to all the famous people. God bless, and I thank you all once again. It was wonderful. Peace.
Active FM. Radio has never been better.
They got me going psycho. Other rappers got no drive, they stuck in idle. Then they feed you all them lies, become your idols. They don't care if you get caught up in the cycle. Man, that's spiteful. They got me going psycho. Other rappers got no drive, they stuck in idle. Then they feed you all them lies, become your idols. They don't care if you get caught up in the cycle. Man, that's spiteful. They got me going psycho.
Why they looking up the rappers, capping they ain't never sold a pea? Trying to put you in the grave earlier than you should really ever be. You been believing a lie. Would it be something that's toxic? Go down that road, take a step back, and it's getting hard, and I ain't talking to rockets. He just told his son on that song that he could grow up to be Barack. Then he pushed a $20 rock around the clock and hit his rivals with a Glock. I don't get it, I don't get it. Swear they made me go psycho. He ain't putting things lined up in the right place like a typo. Gucci Louis on a handbag, what that mean for your soul, bro? Rappers acting like your homies, but meeting Christ is done solo. They ain't answer for the wrong things that you done when you followed them, but they talking about the serpent's plans.
They got me going psycho. Other rappers got no drive, they stuck in idle. Then they feed you all them lies, become your idols. They don't care if you get caught up in the cycle. Man, that's spiteful. They got me going psycho. Other rappers got no drive, they stuck in idle. Then they feed you all them lies, become your idols. They don't care if you get caught up in the cycle. Man, that's spiteful. They got
Man,
me
I swear
going
these new
psycho.
rappers be tripping. All action and no influence, they steady talking about popping pills, and my favorite rapper just sold it to him. I ain't trying to say that it's better, but look what we at the brink of. Back then we did what we had to do, and they do whatever they can think of. But I pray hard to keep doing me, cause you don't know what to say first. I swear that Rona is crazy, but that stuff they saying is way worse. So I finally see what my purpose is, cause the old me of my past gone. I'm here to give you these God bars and make sure theirs don't last long. This is a test, don't really need to say I am the best, but I do what I do to get us all up to heaven. They do what they do for a check. I would prefer that they be rapping less. Matter of fact, just not at all. Only concerned with making their money, not caring who they are making the fall. That's why I'm gonna make these records you don't have to do a bid for. Reppin' Christ, that is something you can die and live for. Them your favorite rappers, then your idols are my rivals. Cause ain't no way in heaven they gon' make me go psycho. Jason.
They got me going psycho. Other rappers got no drive,